All right. Welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode ng Deep Dive. Ginagaya din natin mga kabilang channel kaya may pagka-merch din tayo. Kasama naman natin ngayon, of course, ito is isa sa mga paborito natin guest, Tony Antonio Sonny Trillanes. Thank you very much, Senator, for joining us. Andiyan ka ba, Senator? Parang nawawala ka. Are you there? Are you here? Thank you so much again, Senator, for joining us. Obviously, ang konteksto ng pag-usapan sana natin today is itong ruling ng Supreme Court, which is basically they found the impeachment as violating the Constitution. There are many angles to this, no? Mahabang usapan yan. But one of the angles is that yung fourth complaint daw laban kay Sara ay medyo hindi tugma dun sa ligang batas, not to mention of course this issue we have been discussing, right, itong issue na violate ba yung 1 year rule. So Senator Trillanes, you are a very well informed man, I'll just say it as much as that. So I'm sure you're not totally surprised with everything under the sun, but what is your read of itong Supreme Court ruling na to, Senator Trillanes, and what are the implications for itong accountability and justice questions?
Okay, unang-una, kailangan natin ma-stress na what the Supreme Court did, regardless kung ano man ang naging dating nila, pronouncement nila, pero hindi pa ito final. Marami pang mga remedies dito at siguro isa-isahin natin yung mga hypothetical situations moving forward. Pero kailangan natin sabihin na talagang itong ginawa ng Korte Suprema talaga kumbaga nakakagimbal, ah, nakakasikip ng dibdib, no? Sabihin na natin na hindi sila dapat nang himasok. That's the bottom line. Kasi ganito, yung decision nila ay procedural no? Hindi naman doctrinal yung sinasite nila. Procedural na dapat kasi wala silang sinite na may violate yung House. That would have justified yung pagdideclare nila ng unconstitutional. So, tapos ano yan? Ang isang issue dito is kapag ka na-constitute na ang impeachment court, ang logical conclusion niyan is a verdict. That is the only ending na nakikita dun sa Constitution impliedly. Walang sinasabi dyan that any branch of government would have the power to stop it. Wala. Ngayon, isa pang pwede mag-stop niyan kung voluntarily magre-resign yung inaakusa. Pag nag-resign siya, mamumut na yung the rest of the trial, but magde-decide pa rin yung impeachment court kung perpetual disqualification to hold public office. So, ngayon, just a review, nung June 10, na-constitute na yung impeachment court. So, eto na to, as a constitutional body, based on Article 11 of the 1987 Constitution, iba siya, ibang entity na to. Hindi to pwedeng panghimasukan na ng Supreme Court. The period na pwedeng manghimasok yung Supreme Court was up to nung before nag-constitute ng impeachment court yung Senado, and that was in June 10. So lumagpas yun tapos ngayon ganito. Ngayon meron din mga highly suspicious or mga dubious circumstances dito. Kasi remember, yung deadline ng submission ng House of Representatives was July 18, pero formally na-receive ng Supreme Court ng July 21. Okay. Tapos, uh, ang dami ng kumakalat na information na kinakalat na tong 100-page ponensya na to as early as Monday afternoon. Ibig sabihin, luto na, no? Ito, information pa lang na ito, no? Information ito. Tapos, di ba nagkabagyo, Richard? Nagkabagyo, sunod-sunod. walang pasok. And today, in fact, Malacanang declared no work for all government offices. Pero lo and behold, ang Korte Suprema, suddenly, nag-ano siya,
Unbank.
nag-declare siya ng workday. Tapos, pagdating dun sa NBank, nag-declare sila, emergency session, special session. Aba, gawa na yung decision, gawa na yung 100-page ponensya, tapos na, prinomulgate na nila. Just in time, out of coincidence, ano ba to? Quote unquote, coincidence, before SONA, di ba? Okay, yan ngayon, that's
Eh,
where we're
habang
at.
nasa abroad pang presidente natin.
Yes, oo. And they're hoping na parang surprise attack, then hinto na kayo. Isa pang mga dito, nung humingi sila ng sagot sa House of Representatives, non-extendable, 10 days, di ba? Tapos talagang what's the rush? Okay, alam nilang merong dito. Kung ang hinahabol nila dito is yung before SONA, at magre-resume na yung trial, ang problema nila na constitute na nung June 10 eh. So, they are actually intervening in between. Ngayon, yung mandato ng Senado sa impeachment court gumulong na ng June 10. Ito na ngayon, ang magiging isang hypothetical scenario sa July 29, meron mag-raise niyang issue na yan. Na meron ng mandato ang Senado as an impeachment court, nag-constitute na sila sa impeachment court, eventually magfa-file pa naman ng motion for consideration yung House of Representatives at some point in the future. Therefore, hindi pa final yung decision with the trial. So, yan yung mga dito, mga possibilities.
Yeah, pag-usapan natin more, but Senator, just on a side note, may mga nagtatanong dito, ang dami kasi live joining us. Baka daw may kinalaman sa away ni Baste at saka Torre. Habang distracted daw tayo sa Torre. Baka habang nasa Singapore daw yung isa na magaling maghamon tapos biglang ang daming condition. Baka yun daw yung naging cover. Ano masabi niyo dyan, Senator Trillanes?
Talagang very, very fertile ang imagination ng mga natin. Yeah.
Mataba ang
Hmm.
utak ng mga followers natin, Senator Trillanes, kaya tuwa-tuwa tayo dito. Now, let's talk about this. So, not long after the Supreme Court came out with a decision, and no less than Justice Leonen, my fellow Baguio boy, someone who has been seen as a liberal progressive stalwart, he made it clear na walang kinalaman sa politika ito. This is about rule of law, but obviously, a lot of people, including you yourself, have been questioning this ruling. I want to also hear actually Justice Carpio what he has to have soon, say soon kasi he was quite optimistic na hindi mangyari yan. But having said that, you had Joel Villanueva, siya ba yung nagdila kay Amy ba? Sino ba? Si Joel Villanueva said na hindi, at the end of the day, may precedence tayo na kung saan, if the Senate decides, since this is a sui generis trial institution, pwede din sila tumuloy. And I think he cited also the case of the Corona case. Can you refresh our memory based on your own experience because you were involved in that event, that major event, and ano ba yung jurisprudence dyan in terms of Senate? Will there be a constitutional crisis if the Senate proceeds in defiance or supposedly in defiance of the Supreme Court ruling?
I would like to look at it this way. Kung meron man nag-create ng constitutional crisis, it's the Supreme Court. Kasi alam na nila nag-constitute na yung Senate as an impeachment court nung June 10. Ibig sabihin nun, they will have to try and decide. Walang way for the Supreme Court to intervene at that point. Ang precedence nito is yung Mercedes Gutierrez impeachment na hindi pa na forward, hindi pa natatransmit sa Senado ay nag-resign na si Mercedes Gutierrez. Therefore, ano na, hindi pa obligado yung Senado to try it, di ba? Tapos moot na eh, yun ang pinakang ano dito ang end ng isang impeachment court or impeachment trial pagka na-convict ay removal from office kung nag-resign na, hindi yun na. Kaya yun lang yan. At yung mga ginawa, let's say nung kay Davide, nung nag-intervene yung Korte Suprema, hindi pa natatransmit sa Senado. Pero pagka na-transmit na sa Senado yan, hindi na pwedeng galawin. Hindi naman sila nag-issue ng temporary restraining order eh. Dapat pwede sila naglabas noon bago nila dinesisyonan ng ganito.
Is
Mm.
this judicial overreach, basically?
That's pretty obvious. At sabi ko nga, yung ruling, kahit 100 pages pa yan eh. Pero procedural. Ang House, nakalagay sa Constitution, yung House, ang may sariling, kumaga domain niya yung procedure kung paano yung gagawin yon. Ang sinasabi, ang bar lang sa Constitution, yung kailangan 10 session days tsaka once a year. Kaso dun sa Francisco case, dinefine yun kung ano yun, kahit may multiple impeachment complaints. Pero kung ano yung ifo-forward dun sa third mode, yung one-third ng representatives ng House of Representatives, yun ang matatransmit. Di ba? Yung ano naman, yung sinasabi kasi nila, kailangan i-refer sa Committee on Justice, you have 10 session days to do that. Kaso, hindi naman nag-lapse yun eh. Biruin mo, nakalagay yun dun sa answer ng House of Representatives, hindi nila inantay. It wasn't even incorporated in their decision. Kaya ano to, yan, itong mga to no? Kumbaga, at some point, pagka i-analyze dito, maraming violations ang ginawa ng Korte Suprema dito. This actually will constitute a betrayal of public trust. Therefore, this will be
Grounds
this,
for potential,
yeah,
some would say
oh,
impeachment fight against them, right? If ever they're
against
found.
them.
Yeah.
Dahil ito, yung ginawa nila is unconstitutional, di ba? Lahat nung pumirma dito talagang problema, no? I'm not saying that's going to happen,
Yeah, but
pero
hypothetically,
it
yeah.
might. Hypothetically, it might happen. Kasi ang dami nilang butas dito eh. Ang tatanungin sa kanila, alam mo yung tinanong nila sa House of Representatives, yung kailan nyo ginawa ito, binasa ba, yung mga ganong details. Pagka sa impeachment, pag na-filean sila na impeachment at ni-refer yan sa Committee on Justice, tatanungin sila dito. Paano nyo nabasa itong kailan nyo ginawa yung 100-page resolution na on the same day na na-receive nyo yung answers, no? Eh, baka kasi may mga lumabas na mga testigo diyan kasi maraming nakaalam noon eh. Yun ang problema nila.
Senator, I mean, like, I'm looking at this, like, ang daming leaks dito sa what is not so shocking Supreme Court ruling. May suspetsya ako, baka may mga tao na hindi natuwa sa nangyari, kaya nililik nila itong nangyayari. Kasi parang everyone is almost informed about this before even the Supreme Court decided it. Does that mean baka there are people inside who are not happy with the situation, kaya they're leaking it out? I don't know, maybe am I
Yeah.
thinking too
Yeah.
conspiratorial here?
Most probably kasi hindi naman yan sisingaw kumalat yung yung forewarning di ba? Exactly kung ano yung nangyari ngayon na pasingaw na a few days before. So ibig sabihin merong mga saksi, may mga testigo na kung paano ito naluto, no? At sabi ko nga that's how it looks. It looks very bad. Kasi bakit kayo nagmamadali? Ano ba yan? Bagyo pa. Pinapasok nyo yung mga empleyado sa Korte Suprema kahit nag-declare na yung Malacanang no work today? Aba, for this? Tapos supposed to be magde-deliberate pa lang kayo. Aba, suddenly meron ng desisyon, pirmahan na. Tapos bakit? Para lang ma-preempt yung start ng trial after SONA. And that's highly suspicious. Tapos, the decision itself, yun ang problema dito. The decision itself, may tulog, ika nga, no? Kumbaga, um, sila yung nagkaroon ng constitutional,
So if there's
breach.
a constitutional crisis, hindi kasalanan ng Senado yan or Kongreso, right? Although
Yeah.
we can have a long conversation about the whole fourth wheat drama. So medyo may pagka-fourth wheat version na tayo. I mean, again, maybe this is obviously conjectural, if not masyadong but 12 out of the 15 justices are Duterte appointees, right? 13 were
Mhm.
already appointed by 2020. I think one already stepped out. So some people are saying, ano ba yan? Meron ba tayong culture of utang na loob? Something like that. That may have influence. Again, this is just conjectural. Of course, we have no evidence for that. But interestingly, si Winnie Munsut, she was talking about a few years ago about a study done, parang regression analysis na in the Philippines, there's a very minimal, if any, presidents kung saan, if na-appoint ka ng isang presidente, you go against that president. Or in this case, you go against someone close to that president. Is that a mumbo jumbo kind of conspiracy theory, Senator, or you think maybe we cannot totally ignore also those elements?
Marami naman na exceptions to that rule kasi we can all remember yan sila Justice Carpio. They made decisions
But exceptions
that
to the rule. But
oo.
exceptions.
Then so meron naman. Ang pinakang ano kasi dito is pagka nagkaroon ng conflict ng interest. Pag kami yung appointing authority ay sila yung subject ng litigation, doon ngayon naghihingi, nagko-call in ng favors o so doon. But normally, yung ibang mga uh, appointing authority, let's say si former President Ramos, um, marami siyang inappoint, wala naman, di naman siya nagkaroon ng kaso sa Korte Suprema. So, walang ganon. Kaya yun yung ang pinakang problema dito is not the appointees themselves, kung hindi yung appointing authority na wala sa ayos. 'Di ba?
Hmm.
Kaya kailangan nila ng pabor. Kasi I would like to believe na yung mga appointees na yan maayos sila uh, on paper, pero pagka na-pressure na yan sila at yun na, hininga ng siningil ng utang na loob, doon sila ngayon pinaninindigan. Mhm.
Right. Again, we're everything we are saying, we're caveat. Of course, we're not saying anything is final. These are just speculations. Some would say bitter lang tao kaya sinasabi nila yan. Ako naman, I just found it always weird how the Philippines, the courts can be easily packed by a president. Kasi sa US, at least dadaan ka sa Senado. Tapos, mga Supreme Court justices are usually there until the very end. But then again, that didn't stop the Supreme Court in the US also being packed by conservatives. But um, basically, ang argument mo dito, Senator, is that hindi judiciable yung cases na tinarget nila. Procedural lang sila. So basically, this is beyond their jurisdiction. Sorry, justiciable. Sorry, hindi sila judicial issue. Right, yeah.
Yes. So, nung nag-file ng petition itong kampo ni Sara Duterte way back in February, hindi sila nag-issue ng TRO yung Korte Suprema. 'Di ba? So they took their time. They took their time. Then suddenly, right before SONA, right before the actual start of the trial, papasok ka. Okay, yun ang problema doon. But before that, yun na. Ang problema doon, nagsimula na yung korte. Nagsimula na nung June 10 eh. Dapat yon, kung ayaw nila ng constitutional crisis, dapat nag-step back na sila. Na-constitute niya, ibig sabihin nun, nag-determine na yung impeachment court ever happened during the filing. Di ba? So, yung nangyari nito, yung sa corona impeachment, yung sa corona impeachment kasi, what happened there is, nag-determine yung impeachment court na may presumption of regularity yung ginawa ng korte ng House of Representatives. So walang intervention yung Supreme Court in between. Kaya yun ang nangyari. To tapos ngayon, kaya highly suspicious yung circumstances, and sabi ko nga um,
Well,
yung mga
mm,
sumang-ayon dito.
um, again, I know we're trying our best to be fair, objective, not to, jump to conclusion or anything like that. But we have to be also fair in terms of reflecting the, for the lack of better word, skepticism or taas kilay response ng many legal luminaries, whether it's Congressman Jokno, the former dean of the De La Salle University, from a very established legal family. I'm sure Justice Carpio has a lot to say on this. Nevertheless, speaking of this, Senator, you have Joel Villanueva saying that I'm sure someone will raise it during the impeachment proceeding. So sinasabi na tuloy ang impeachment proceedings, for sure someone will raise it. So expect natin sila Batorni, mga DDS, etc. But the impeachment court is sui generis. So we will proceed. So these are all questions that will be raised with the decision of the Supreme Court. Pero tuloy pa rin daw. So basically parang noted, ganun bang pwedeng gawin ng Senado? It's like, you said what your piece, but we still decide. This is our prerogative. This is a sui generis process. It's not just a judicial process, it's also a political process. Therefore, we can proceed ahead with this. Having said that, so you just need majority to say yes para tuloy yan, di ba?
Yes.
You just need 13 to say yes and tuloy itong trial na ito.
Yes. So that's exactly what I was saying earlier, Richard. Na ito nakakadismaya itong desisyon ng Korte Suprema, highly suspicious yung circumstances leading to that decision. Pero ganun pa man, my personal opinion about this is it's too late kasi nagsimula na yung impeachment court nung June 10. Dire-diretso to. By mandate of the Constitution, kailangan tapusin ito hanggang sa verdict, di ba? Or kung yun nga, kung magre-resign yung akusado. Ngayon, dahil isa pa dito, dahil yung decision ng Korte Suprema, kahit sabihin nilang ah, immediate and executory ito, pero hindi ito final, 'di ba? Kailangan meron kang reason to stop it. Anong reason ng Senado to stop the trial? Hindi pa naman final yung ruling. 'Di ba? Kasi pwede pang motion for reconsideration. Papaano 'yan kung sasabihin ng mga Duterte senators na teka, may ruling na yung Korte Suprema 'di ba? May ruling na sila. So therefore dapat wag nang ituloy. Ang sagot naman sa kanila, final na ba, Batorni?
Oh, kasi
Oh,
na MR na.
hindi.
Oh.
Oh, hindi pa final. O therefore, anong reason natin, 'di ba? O magfa-file ng MR. So bakit mo ngayon sasabihin? Kung sasabihin naman nila, di antayin natin. Paano kung maglabas yung Supreme Court ng ruling diyan by 2028, ibig sabihin nakatunganga ka, nag-aantay ka sa wala. Hindi. Ang mandato ng impeachment court is very clear. Try and decide. Tatapusin niya to unless, yun na, kung final and executory na yan, probably pagdidesisyon na ng mga senador yan. Pero they're not even there. This is just the initial decision. This can be, the Supreme Court justices probably may change their minds pagka finally binasa nila yung sagot ng House of Representatives. Ay, na-comply pala lahat. 'Di ba? Kaya babaguhin nila yung sagot nila sa motion for reconsideration. So therefore, on Tuesday, pagka nag-move yung mga senador na wala tayong basis to stop this kasi hindi pa final yung decision ng Korte Suprema, di tuloy lang. O ngayon, pag may mga Duterte senators na magsabing, ay hindi, antayin na natin, may initial ano na. Hindi. You cannot assume na yung sagot sa MR will be the same. Di ba? So, tuloy-tuloy lang dapat. Yun.
Mukhang ang dami natin trigger ng mga trolls dito, Sunny, because I think they also know na hindi pa rin tapos ang usapan. So, kumbaga, naging mas magulo lang usapan, di ba? I mean, let's be honest. Walang knockdown, walang knockout. Parang point system lang to eh, kung boxing ito, di ba? So, yeah, maybe some points for the other side, but nothing is final here. I look forward to interesting discussions. I'm sure next week there'll be important developments and all, and we'll look forward to that. Senator, going back to this, so what is the ideal situation right now in the Senate? So the 13 majority will vote, and then yun na yan, tuloy na yan? And then even if the
That's
Supreme Court later on says they will uphold their initial decision, basically they'll ignore it, right?
July 29. So, you only need a simple majority to adopt that motion, then tuloy-tuloy. Kasi talagang, alam mo, I can imagine the debates here. O sasabihin ng isang Duterte senator, o kanyari, mag-motion, kailangan ituloy natin yung impeachment trial. Sasabihin ng Duterte senator, teka, meron ng desisyon ang Korte Suprema. Okay, ang tanong sa kanya, final na ba yan, iho? Hindi pa po. Yun naman pala. Take your seat. 'Di ba? Okay, next. May magsasabi. Teka, antayin na lang natin eventually yung decision. Ang tanong naman sa kanya, alam mo ba kung kailan lalabas yung sagot sa MR? Because the MR has yet to be filed by then. So you won't even know kung kailan mapafile yung MR, and therefore hindi mo alam kung kailan ano. You cannot wait until kingdom come kung para lang ano yan kasi ano yan, you don't know the answer to that. So in the meantime, kailangan tuloy-tuloy yung impeachment trial until maging final man yan. But even then, kahit pag final na yan and executory, sasabihin nila, the senators as an impeachment court may still decide to go through it kasi sasabihin nila na, teka, judicial overreach na yan. So, kumbaga, yan yung mga levels of debate na makikita natin in the foreseeable future.
Interesting. Now, Senator, so I think we have established at least the understanding of some people. Again, you have legal luminaries on the outside who have no political interest whatsoever and not beholden to anyone, clearly having serious problems with this also. So it's not just ordinary citizens or former senators like you. But, Senator, going back to this, let's just say, okay, let's just say hindi may tutuloy itong impeachment this year. Let's say the Batorni DDS block wins the day. Does it make sense to file this again after a year? Sorry, after 6 months pala. Um, is that even an option? Does that even make sense? And then if ever that's no longer an option, it's not like that's the end of the story, right? Because Sara Duterte doesn't will not look innocent if it looks like she was just protected here, right? So the issue is
Yes.
not gonna go away. It's not like the issue will go away. And if anything, it's not like some of the accusations against Sara Duterte cannot be acted upon by executive agencies, not only the
Mm.
legislature. And it's not like the Congress cannot continue to hold hearings, right? So in short, I'm just telling dun sa mga ka-DDS natin na followers na sobrang excited ngayon at triumphalist, parang wait lang, parang we're not done here yet, di ba? Ang dami pang pwede
Mm.
mangyari. There's so many kumbaga tricks in the hat na pwede i-pull ng mga people who are intent on holding the Dutertes accountable.
Okay. Yes, I agree, Richard. Ganun mismo ang mangyari. In so many words, ganito. Ilaban natin itong current impeachment trial na ito na matuloy. hanggang sa kung saan dadaling ito ng mga senador, ilaban natin, let our voices be heard. Sabihin natin kung gaano tayo kadismayado dun sa naging desisyon ng Korte Suprema, pero hindi pa final yan. Laban natin, paingayin natin, paingayin, paramdam natin. Yung mga nakakaalam nung nakakakilala dito sa mga justices na ito, kalabitin nyo, padala nyo ng message. These are human beings para maramdaman nila that they're not living in a vacuum. Di ba? Ito to. Okay. Kasi wag na nilang simulan na yung legal argument na meron talagang butas. Wala hong butas. Okay? Walang mali dun sa current impeachment complaint. Ilang law schools na yung nagsalita diyan, 'di ba? Umabot tayo
Right,
dito. Tapos,
you're right. Like
ha?
even Ateneo de Davao Law School.
Yeah. So, ni walang lumabas complaint. Okay, ngayon, worst case scenario na talagang hindi to mag-proceed ngayon. So, ipoprolong lang nila yung agony kasi sa February, magkikita-kita tayo ulit. Di ba? Be sure na midnight of that day na kailangan pwede na mag-file, talagang magbubungguan dyan sa gate na ano. So they will have to relive this nightmare. 'Di ba? Okay, sasabihin nila, hindi, by then, ano na kami. Bakit? Paano niya sasabihin na things will be favorable for you? Yung, yung ebidensya will be the same. Baka mas marami pang makalap by then. Pero regardless, sabi ko nga, andirito na eh. While pwede pa rin tayong to fight another day, but we're still in the midst of the battle right here and now. Huwag natin bitawan ito. Kaya kailangan yung mga kababayan natin ay talagang makilahok dito sa mga susunod na mga pagkilos. Ngayon, maraming mga naiisip yung mga civil society organizations because of the the bad weather season ngayon. Maraming mga online petitions or different ways to make your voices be heard para dito sa laban na ito na ipagpatuloy ang paglilitis ni Sara Duterte.
For sure. Again, marami pang rounds yan. We're still in the early rounds. Wala pang knockout. And yeah, if people wanna, suddenly our DDS friends are so into respecting the Supreme Court decision and all, I think they have to be reminded that even Ateneo de Davao School of Law, not to mention UP School of Law, I mean, padamihan tayo ng legal luminaries, they have made it very clear na forthwith dapat in action na nito. So, in short, your reading, Senator, is that actually Supreme Court is undermining its own case, and some would say authority. No, that actually they could end up as the loser in this situation in terms of their loss of authority, rather than the other way around. And going back to this, some are saying hindi ba ito yung exactly why we needed ICC, right? Because let's just be honest, our if
Yeah.
at that level, ganun pa rin ang makukuha mo, no offense, with all due respect, it just tells you how much kailangan mo talaga ng tulong from the outside. I think for many people, it just drove home why you need ICC to come in. And speaking of the ICC, um, it's not like Bato is also totally safe, right? Even if Batorni will be successful in shooting down the impeachment next week, citing the Supreme Court. So in short, like, there's so many angles and moving parts pa rin here.
Yes, for sure. Si Bato and Bongo ay ano yan, sila yung mga most likely na susunod dun sa warrant of arrest. And baka dun sa round 2, by then wala na sila. Talagang mas ano yon, 'di ba? Walang mas mababawasan yung mga maglalagay ng mga obstacles for that impeachment. Pero ang isang inaano natin dito yung sa Korte Suprema, maaring hindi nila to nakita ng maayos. We're not ruling out anything, pero theoretically pwede silang ma-file ng impeachment dito, and this could be an opportunity actually for the Marcos administration. 'Di ba? Ano lang, food for thought yan. We're not saying that will happen, pero imagine nila to, mapafilan sila ng impeachment. Siguro mapafilan dito yung after the MR na, kung sino yung um, mag-stick dun sa ano to, flawed decision, sila yung makakasuhan, tapos tatanungin sila, 'di ba, about the judicial overreach, yung mga dubious circumstances. Malay mo may mga lumabas din diyan na mga ill-gotten wealth, etc. They will go through that just because they did this thing. Ayun lang. When
Baka they may
wala
have
na tayong
opened the
sinasabi.
can of worms. Yeah. Although
Yes, so
hypothetical, of course, we're not saying
hypothetical,
very
hypothetical
hypothetical.
yan, pero 'di ba?
Para
Mm.
para ka rin Sir Ronald Llamas, ah. Wala akong sinasabi, ah. Basta. May version ka rin pala. Senator Trillanes. Now, last part of our discussion, obviously, we're gonna have a SONA soon. What are you expecting from SONA? What do you think President BBM should do in the SONA? I know, rejoining ICC. Should he say anything about the impeachment in the Supreme Court case? What do you think would be the best possible, at least public positioning of the president, Senator Trillanes?
As regards to impeachment? No.
As regards to the impeachment, ICC, overall accountability issues.
Um, I would anticipate na he would try to distance himself from this thing kasi 'di ba ang natural alibi nito may co-equal branch, courtesy and independence, so yan. Pero yung in-expect natin, siyempre, itong strengthened ties with the US, especially with the visit sa Washington, very clear yung ano doon, outcome nung uh, uh, talagang high moral ang security sector, ang defense sector dito sa nangyari na yon. So there's that. Ngayon, yung gusto sana natin na mabigyan ng mas
Malaking concession sa
magandang
tariffs, no? Yeah.
is magandang roadmap is yung yung presyo ng bilihin. Kasi ultimately it's the gut issue na i-measure siya eh. Pagka nagawa niyan, mapababa yung presyo ng bilihin, particularly yung bigas, if he delivers on that promise, kahit hindi na 20 pesos, sabihin mo ng 25 pesos, grabe yun, ang laking bagay nun. Kasi kay Duterte, umabot ng 50 plus yan. I remember 30, low 30s yan nung kay Pinoy. Tapos nung naupo siya, sinabi nila pag napasa nila yung rice tarification law, bababa, biglang nag-jack up to where it is now. Kaya yan yung pwede niyang maggawa at so far nagagawa na eh. Bumababa na ulit yung presyo ng yan na ngayon ang magiging major legacy niya as far as the masses are concerned. Siyempre yung yung middle class pataas ay ang pinakang measure nila is yung democratic space, di ba? Wala nang pine-persecute, wala nang patayan, may freedom of the press. Kumbaga, yan naman yung basics of a working democracy. So, ma-maintain lang niya yan, he would be good to go.
Last point,
Yeah.
constructive note tayo dito.
Yeah.
So obviously medyo may mga konting brouhaha about the whole Kiko, BAM, majority, minority, whatever. What are you hoping to see in the next 3 years in terms of those three senators working together, building a movement, basically laying the ground for 2028 para malakas naman sana ang mga progressive, liberal, and pink groups?
Ang ang palagay ko kasi despite yung kung ano man yung na naligaw o na compromise dito ganun, um, yung foundation, yung moral compass is there eh. Yung base, yun yung pinakang konsensya nila eh. Kaya kahit saan parang lumilis dito, eventually napo-pull back. I still think na ano pa rin, both Senator Kiko and Senator Bam are still on the right path. Wag lang tayo siguro mag-focus dun sa mga ano, mga what's this, mga tactics, ano yung
Yeah,
mga
tactical
ano,
alignments, short-term calculation.
but
Yeah.
except yung red line. For as long as hindi mag-cross sa red line, and that red line is kung tumawid ka sa mga Dutertes, ibang usapan yun. That's diametrically opposed to what we were fighting for. At yung naging basihan nung samahan nung nagsimula ito.
Ako, for me, Senator, no, I hope there's this understanding that marami sa ating mga kasama will really be in danger. Well, isa ka rin dyan. Not to mention practically probably all of us, right? If makabalik ang mga Dutertes. And the reality is that there are others there who may not face the same level of risk, right? Do you get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I think that's a very serious issue here na hindi na-appreciate ng tao na I'll just spell it out. Like, if Sarah comes back, I don't think it will turn out well for Risa or definitely you, right? Or
Yeah.
basically all of us. But I don't think some other people will necessarily be in bad spot. I don't think Lenny will necessarily be in bad spot considering that she has some sort of rapport, as we saw. I won't say more than that. Maybe even Bang won't necessarily be in bad position. So, para sa akin
Mm.
lang, for the sake of solidarity lang, I hope naintindihan ng tao na this is not about just partisanship. This is not just about personality politics. This is also, this is about solidarity, right? Fighting for the
Yeah.
people are fighting for the right thing. Di ba? I just had to spell that out, Senator, kasi I feel hindi nagigets ng tao yan eh. Na the return of Duterte is not going to be a major, major shock and another fatal shock potentially to our democracy, but it could be fatally dangerous to a lot of folks, including you, including Risa, right? A lot of people in our groups and all. And I hope yung solidarity, spirit of solidarity will create that understanding at will make people understand bakit reaction ng ibang grupo, reaction natin basically, sa mga ibang bagay ay ganito. I think that's what hindi masyado nag-sink in yata, no? Senator. I know you're a brave man, you're a courageous man, you don't want to talk about those things, but I think we have to be a bit
Mm.
honest about that.
Yes, and ang I agree, Richard. Yung kumbaga yung mga metaya ano, yung dito. Pero ito yan eh. Kahit tanggalin mo na yung personal safety, ano, if you put it aside for a moment. Just imagine Sara Duterte with her temper, with her psychological what's this, instability. Tapos you have as president, no, bibigay mo yung powers of the president sa kanya. You can imagine kung anong paano niya to i-abuse and i-misuse. Then, sasamahan mo pa ng pulong as Speaker of the House. Na-imagine mo? Di ba? O tapos si Baste. Nakita mo si Baste, di ba? Parang ganong sanggano yan.
Hindi ko
Gagawing
nakita kasi
cabinet
umalis
secretary
na
yan.
daw eh. Hindi ko nakita, umalis na.
Yun na nga, di ba? Kasi duwag sila pagka wala sila sa puder. Pero pag nandiyan sila, kaya tatapang niyang mga yan. Di ba? So, you can imagine. Tingnan mo, hindi lang bababuyin at babalahurain ito yung demokrasya natin. Yung ekonomiya natin, ano na to? It's a mafia land. Kumaga, gangland ito. Shakedown dito, ano doon, shakedown doon. Talagang racket dito. Lahat, drugs, free-flowing. Yung mga pulis, gagawing parte ng sindikato. Babalik tayo doon. Nightmare ng Duterte era. So, ayokong dumaan doon. Kaya ulit ang ating bayan. Kaya I'm doing whatever I can now. Kaya anybody, kahit kakampi natin, pagka dumikit lang doon, i-call out ko na, wag naman dyan. Wag kayong dumikit dyan. Sasamain kayo sa amin. Ganon. Di ba? So, that's the thing.
Exactly. On that note, we'll just keep it at that point. Sunny, baka may lumusot na naman. Okay.
Alam mo na yung what's coming, ah.
I will just like, para akong referee doon sa fight ni Torres. Okay na yan, okay na yan, okay na yan. Ring, ring ng bell, 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 bell.
Yeah.
Sige, for the sake of entertainment, you think Gerald Torre was right na pumatol? Baka nakinig siya sa advice mo, sabi mo, di ba? Mga yan, purong ano lang yan. Pag pinatulan mo naman sumagot ka, hindi naman kakagat yan. Do you think he called their bluff and he did it in a good way?
Yeah, I did. I think tama yung ginawa niya. Kasi ultimately hindi naman tutuloy. Yun nga, nag-ano siya, nag-fold. At least alam ng taong bayan kung gaano kaduwag itong mga ito. Di ba?
So maybe next time, Senator Trillanes, if we can organize our own. Dami nga nagtanong yung mga undercard daw, sinong undercard? Ayan tuloy kung sino-sino nagpo-volunteer dyan. On that note, thank you very much, Senator Trillanes. Mabuhay ka and God willing, talk to you soon and looking forward to your post-SONA analysis naman after the upcoming State of the Nation address. Stay strong, stay safe, and stay dry. God bless po.
Maraming salamat, Richard.
Salamat.